Hi, I'm Jen with Orlando Shakes, and we are here today with Phanésia, the playwright behind Dead Girls Quinceañera. Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello! Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, we are thrilled to have you here, and we're thrilled to have you be coming to Orlando for Playfest. Tell me, is this going to be your first time at Playfest?
My first time.
Oh, okay. So, what are you looking forward to most about Playfest?
Well, I'm so excited because, Native Gardens by Karen Zacharias, Lauren Gunderson's work has been workshopped through Playfest, Inda Craig Galvan, like a lot of writers I really love and respect. So honestly, that is the main thing that got me really excited. But I'm from Miami, and so I'm excited to come work in Florida, my home state, and to work especially with a theater that's in great partnership with UCF. Like that's all really exciting to me as a Florida native.
I love that. How did you first hear about Playfest?
I think I actually, because Native Gardens is produced so prolifically,
Mhm.
and my job and the job of all playwrights is to look up, like, how did this play happen? Who are all of the people that touched this play before it became a production or before I see the 30th production? I think actually researching Karen Zacharias, who is one of my favorite living writers, is how that happened. Yeah.
Excellent. So you keep mentioning, your favorite writer and whatnot. What about that playwright is like draws you to them?
Oh, I mean, she's so wonderful. I think one of my favorite plays of hers is Destiny of Desire. I believe
Yes.
that's the title. And I saw a production of it at the Old Globe in San Diego when I was in grad school. It blew my brain open. It was a huge inspiration for Dead Girls because I loved the way she used the novella and she just put it on stage in a way that felt fun and alive. And she was unapologetic in the audience in which she's serving. Which I love. So yeah, there's so much more I could say about Karen Zacharias because she's so special. That would be where I'd start.
It's very interesting to me that she kind of inspired you for Dead Girls Quinceañera, which is why you're coming to Playfest. So talk to me a little bit about, where you told us a little bit about where that inspiration came from, but without any type of spoilers, let's tell people what the show is about.
Dead Girls is about a group of girls who, which this isn't a major spoiler because they say it in the first 20 seconds of the play, is a play about three girls who are looking for their missing friend, Maria,
Mhm.
who wants to be her quinceañera.
So what gave you this idea for the show?
Honestly, I was inspired by a few things. I was inspired by my best friend. I was inspired by there's something really precious and powerful about friendships between young people, and I was particularly interested in what that looked like between young women. I was inspired by plays like the African Mean Girls play, Dance Nation, just this like in the last, I would say 5 to 10 years, there's just been this eruption of really great plays that center girlhood. Um,
Mhm.
that's really exciting to me. And I was also really interested in, I am a bit of a true crime junkie. Um, and
Well,
I,
to be honest, who's not these days?
right, it's so like, you know,
Yes, and
yeah.
let's be honest, this play is coming to us at a perfect time. I mean, crime like podcasts, true crime podcasts are like the number one podcast out there, and those documentaries. I mean, everybody's watching about it. So I love that what you're trying to do here is bring that to the stage. Along with focusing, I mean, I'm all about those relationships that we have with other women, in our friendships and how strong that bond is. And let's be honest, if there's ever a crime to be solved among friends, who's going to solve it? Our girlfriends. They'll
Absolutely.
know exactly what happened. You just got to give them a little bit of a timeline.
Yes. And once you get to, and you put us all in a room together, it's like, it's over.
It's over. It's over. I tell people all the time, you don't need to hire a private investigator. You just need to hire people's best friends, and they'll find anything you need for sure. I love that. So, okay, this is a very because we've read this play already. I have, and it's great. It's great comedy. It also touches, on some real issues that is happening right now. Tell me, how do you balance out those themes of comedy and the true crime and all these other types of issues in there.
Well, I was very lucky, and I recently finished grad school under the mentorship of Naomi Izuka and Deborah Stein, who are two just genius women. And I've had other professors, and I've sat in on master classes and workshops. And something that Naomi Izuka, she's a philosophy major. She never talks about this, but when she went to Yale for undergrad, she was a philosophy major and one of the best living American playwrights. And she said this to us in class, and I'll just hopefully she doesn't come for me. Don't be giving out my material for free. But, she would say philosophies. Like, philosophies are one of the lifebloods of the American theater. So people want to come to the theater to hear the philosophies of other people, and kind of the ping pong match of, well, I believe this, I don't believe this. And so what I love about these young women, and the characters sort of speak through me, it's not me like puppeteering, it's them puppeteering me on the keyboard, is they have a lot of things to say. I think right now, we have to ask ourselves, what do 15-year-old women of color in Miami, Florida have to say about our country? Women who are all immigrants or daughters of immigrants themselves. Those are the characters in this play. And I think that is sort of naturally they're all going to have, and they all have different political beliefs. And I think hearing that is really important. But also just natural to who they are puppeteering me. So that's what I would say. Their philosophies on the current political moment, but also how they view the world, how they view their life, their positionality in the world, and how they view what this country could be. That to me is the most cerebral aspect of Dead Girls, and probably not what people come for and not what people are going to be most excited about. But that's what I'm really excited about, because I think young girls like Salma, Estee, Phoebe, and Maria, like, those girls are gonna like rule the world. And I really do believe the young women that I grew up with are, so powerful.
You definitely get the sense that these girls are gonna rule the world, and I love that, because quite frankly, when in your life, as a woman, and just women in general, we start to feel that empowerment, and then sometimes it wanes. But I love when women, you see them feel that empowerment. You're like, I got this. I'm going to rule this world. This is who it is. And so I love seeing that in the strength that it gives women as well. And so I definitely think you're right. I think women, and I think especially if they come with their daughters, that they're really going to love seeing that emotion in this. So I picked up on that right away, and I love that aspect of it.
That means a lot, fun. Thank you.
Yes. So who is your absolute favorite character in this play? I know that's got to be hard.
I love all the girls, but I do love Salma. I mean, she's such a tricky woman. I love her. She's a woman after my own heart. Yeah.
There you go. See, I always feel like when you ask somebody that, it's like asking a parent, who's your favorite child? But let's be honest, you had a favorite and you were able to do it.
Easy. But it changes. Like 2 years ago, I was like, Estee is like kind of the heart of the play. But then like Salma in this moment, I think there's something about her that like, I think in the moment right now that we're living in is so powerful.
Yeah, I would definitely agree.
Gratify my own work. It's just really these characters moving through me. So
I love that. So how did you achieve this dynamic between the three characters?
I thought about me and my best friends.
I sense this is a common theme with this.
Yeah, my best friend, like, I literally tell her, I'm like, this is your play. Like, I'm literally like, we can't because this economy's crazy, but we could split the profits at this point. Like, because it's inspired by them.
I love that. And I'm sure your friends love that too. Like hearing that, I feel like if my best friend was like, hey, I wrote a play about us, I'd be like, yes, girl, let me help you with this play any way I can. So I think that you probably have such an amazing support behind you, being that it's about, your best friend inspired it. You see yourselves in it. Tell me about how that's kind of affected you on a personal level with your friendship with her.
It's been so, I don't want to cry, but that really like, it's been really awesome to kind of just be like, I wrote us a love letter, like, and obviously there are things about the character, like it's funny when you write about people because people will always see what they want to see in the play. Like people will show me like, but you made me this character, and it's like, that was not you. You were the villain, but okay, that's my friend. But obviously, like, I have my own interpretation, and she has hers, but it's really and there are people who like don't know that like they're inspired by certain moments, and that I don't know, just like, but I really was thinking about the young women I grew up with, specifically my best friend first and foremost, and I don't know, forever having a love letter to that. Just, I think it makes our friendship more profound.
I love that. I love that your work has that type of impact on your friendships, and clearly you are, it affects you as well, and it is just that, a love letter, and I absolutely love that. What do you want audiences to take away from this piece?
This is tricky. It's a great question, and I struggle with it because I never want to force the audience to take away, I want you to take away this, but I do hope that audiences come to the theater, because all theaters are begging for people to come at this point, and come open to connect with your younger self, because I think there is something so powerful about a 15-year-old, the strength, the knowledge, the clarity and perspective on the world that can sometimes get beaten down by life and society. Mm-hmm. And I sometimes listen to these characters talk to me, and I'm like, whoa, like and then it brings something back where I'm like, am I shrinking myself in certain situations? Am I not, showing up? Would 25-year-old me impress 15-year-old me? Would 26-year-old me impress 15-year-old? Whatever age you are, would that person impress the 15-year-old
right.
version of yourself? That's a real question to ask, I think, watching this play. I'm curious what the audience will say.
And also, give us a little therapy session there. I mean, that is a good question to ask. With your younger self, would they be impressed with who you've become later? Because you're right, at 15, 16 years old, that's a very specific time in our lives where we think we have it all figured out. We tend to have a lot of confidence and all that stuff. And then you're like, oh, all these dreams, are you impressed with yourself later? I like that. I like that question that we should be asking quite a bit for that. I think that's a very interesting question. So I'm curious now, because you've brought in, who your favorite playwright is, your favorite living playwright. You've been inspired by your best friend, by your experiences. But let's go back even further. What inspired you to begin your career as a playwright?
Well, I was lucky enough. So I wanted to be a stand-up comedian, and I was brought into my high school drama teacher received a link to a free public program, which is why I really mean it when I say I'm so excited by Orlando Shakes and what they're doing. And I know Orlando Shakes has a lot of connections and community work that they're doing in the Orlando community, because I am someone who was a recipient of a free program through City Theater, where I was able to I just directed Night Mother by Marsha Norman, and she was there. And so I got to meet her. I got to meet an incredible Haitian American playwright, Francois Benson, who was an award recipient that year at this playwriting conference. And so I came as a comedy writer, sort of thinking it was a comedy or screenwriting conference. I didn't know what I was signing up for. I didn't even know people could write plays. And then all the people who have ever written plays were dead. I don't know what I thought. It was like a thing for dead guys, You know
what though? I think that's the general population kind of thinks that. I don't think you're alone in thinking that, because unless you are then really involved in theater or anything, I think you're right. The general population is like, aren't they all dead now? Are there really? But there is. You're right. And it's so important these new playwrights come up. It cracks me up that you said that, because I know so many people that think that, and you are not alone. You are not alone. We've heard that from other playwrights as well, that, when they were younger, they're like, oh yeah, these are all people that aren't even alive anymore. And then they're like, oh wait, this is a real an important job, you know.
Absolutely.
It's very interesting to hear people say that. I love that.
And there's this like that's what's so exciting about what Orlando Shakes does, because the community shows up and meets these living writers, and institutions like Orlando Shakes are sort of breaking that mold and letting people see, theater is still here. We're still alive. We still have a pulse. And I think sometimes it's cheaper to go see a play than to go to the movie theater or to go to an amusement park. And it might be a more fulfilling experience. So I'm excited by what Orlando Shakes is doing.
Oh, thank you so much. We are excited to hear that people are excited about what we're doing as well, because you're right. Theater is such an important part. It's culture. It is seeing new perspectives on stage. It's entertainment. It fulfills so many aspects. And I always tell people, if you go see one play and you don't enjoy it, don't give up on theater, because you could see that same play at a different day and be like, oh, that hit me different, and fall in love with that.
Yes.
Play. It's totally different. Or maybe you've got a different play that maybe you're just, oh, okay, maybe a musical is not my thing, but I love mysteries. You know what I mean? And so you never know. And it's just like anything. So I love hearing that. Really quick here, how has Playfest supported or shaped your development as a writer?
Well, I'm very excited for it to start. It's been so cool. I'm really excited to work with Melia Ben-Susan. She's going to be directing the play. And that collaboration would not be possible if it weren't for Playfest. I'm really excited for the actors that we're bringing in. I'm going to be able to have a fresh cast, fresh perspectives, work with people who are from Florida on the play, which I think is really important, because I've lived in Florida on and off the last few years, like especially during the pandemic. I lived with my best friend in Gainesville, but I haven't really lived in Florida for a very long time. And so I'm really excited to get that perspective, because I think when this play goes up, it's most of the places it will be premiering will not be Florida. And so to sort of, get the Florida perspective on the play is really exciting.
I'm excited for you as well. Well, I can't wait to see you on stage here. I can't wait for everybody to see it for Playfest. Dead Girls Quinceañera is October 24th at 7 p.m. Single tickets are $16, which is a steal. And Playfest Pass is all 5 shows for $66, an even better deal and steal. So please come out, support all of our shows, specifically Dead Girls Quinceañera. It's a wonderful show. If you're seeing this and you've got daughters, I highly recommend you bring your daughters and make it a girls' day. And you will have so much to talk about. And I think this is a show that is going to be very much enjoyed by everyone of all ages. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Jen. I'm so excited.
We're excited as well. Bye-bye.